It is frustrating because like the amount of work these teams go through to actually like understand the patented things and like invent new things to get around them. Like it's incredible. Like the work and intelligence that goes into avoiding these patents is really frustrating.
I'm Matt, the organizer of the SF Video Technology Meetup and the Demuxed Conference.
And I'm Steve, creator of Video.js, the open source video player.
And I'm Phil, streaming specialist at Mux in London and organizer of the London Video Technology Meetup.
And you're listening to Demuxed, a podcast for and by engineers working with video.
Demuxed is brought to you by Heavybit, a program dedicated to helping startups take their developer products to market. For more information, visit heavybit.com.
We're always looking for topics, so if you have any suggestions or just want to tell us how wrong we are, you can find us on Twitter at Demuxed.
Hey everybody, welcome to the first Demuxed podcast in approximately a million years.
A hot minute it's been since the last Demuxed podcast.
Yes.
What podcast is this?
It's the one that says, it's got the little like the moon icon next to it for me in my podcast app, which means archived or dormant or something.
Ugh, so sad.
So we're trying out a different format here. This is hopefully going to be a recurring monthly thing where just the three of us aren't going to have a guest, and we're going to talk through video tech news, updates in the community, whatever else. But we'll still have, hopefully, more episodes with guests here over the next few months interspersed throughout. But at least once a month, you can expect to hear Phil and Steve's sultry voices and me. I don't feel comfortable calling my own voice sultry, so
Matt, your voice is lovely.
silky smooth, right? That's what you were saying earlier, right?
Silky smooth.
Thanks, man.
A little bit of sibilance on the end of it.
I appreciate that, man. Okay, so let's dig in. I think on my general topics list, first I've got that IRL meetups are back. Worth noting that we are back in person.
IRL of SF VidTech.
Yeah,
or in general.
SF
like
VidTech
in the world?
Yeah.
IRL meetups are back.
I'm just saying, like, I'm seeing a lot of IRL meetups happening now. Like, the SF video was back in person for most of last year. Most of the meetups were, it's been smaller than it was in 2019 before everything went online. I think the last meetup was in-person meetup was February 2020. And that was a really good one. I think we had like 40-ish people show up to that one. Like, we haven't touched that yet in 2020.
Have we missed any meetups at this point?
We've not had a meetup one time, and that was September
of this last year.
September.
In what a streak!
In 8 years, we've missed 1 month.
I mean, not that I can take credit. I've showed up to like one. That's amazing. Like, kudos. That's awesome. So IRLs.
But IRLs are kind of back, which is kind of been nice. Like the New York Video Meetup, I think had their first meetup in like years.
Nice.
This month. That's not to be confused with the New York Video Tech Meetup that the Vimeo crew mostly runs. I think Vimeo JW Player mostly organized the New York Video Tech Meetup. There's the New York Video Meetup, which is a little bit more
video, less tech. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a little bit more like production, like creator based as opposed to like streaming based. I went to it one time. It was actually one of the reasons why I started SF Video Tech, was because I went to that meetup thinking it was going to be about the technology, and it wasn't. It was like a bunch of like writers and directors and creators. So it was really cool. It was just like wasn't.
I joined this meetup in London that's like a video creator meetup. So like every couple of weeks they'll get like a dancer or a model or something like that, and like put them in like interesting situations, and like you take along like video recording equipment and like learn from each other on how to produce video. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
I enjoy it.
Nice.
I was going to say what is getting harder. I don't know if you don't have this problem here. It's getting hard to find venues. It's almost like everyone closed their offices. Yeah, pandemic. It's like finding venues for meetups is starting to get painful for some. I find it tough in London.
I'll be honest, I don't like...
You certainly do not have this problem.
No.
It's not like a castle you can meet in somewhere.
does that keep coming up today?
So Heavybit, which is where the SF Video Tech was we moved out of the Bright Cove SF kitchen to the Heavybit event space, which was an amazing like meetup space. It was perfect. And now the Heavybit clubhouse closed. Pour one out, rest in peace. Heavybit is still around and fine, but the clubhouse closed during the pandemic. And so Mux, our company, moved into an office with a nice meeting space. Overall, it's great, but I will say, like, getting in, like, it's just like
security.
Yeah, like the security, it's just like not as warm as it used to be. Like at Heavybit, you kind of like walked right in. Yeah, you'd have to go around like the sketchy back alley if you showed up a little bit late.
Step over someone. Yeah.
Which, the alley could be hit or miss a little bit. But like you were kind of like, you're right in the meetup, like when you walked through the doors.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like having to pay like a task rabbit downstairs. It's just like, it's a little bit colder on the entrance. And like, I think it makes a difference. I don't know.
Just hand out cupcakes at the front door or something like that. Make it warmer.
There you go. Mittens.
Mittens.
They literally make it a little bit warmer. The main thing that I really did want to make sure that I covered there was that Montevideo.
Nice pronunciation.
Hey,
that's brilliant.
Montevideo. JP and the Qual Labs folks. This is if you came to Demuxed, you probably saw them at least mention this. There was a lightning talk that touched on this, but they're doing a really cool summer camp type thing. So you can go work out of their office in Montevideo.
It sounds amazing.
It sounds
so jealous.
Freaking awesome. We're still trying to, like, I'm personally still trying to make it happen, but saw the meetup list for next month. It looks sick. Will Law, who's also speaking at the SF Video Tech meetup, which
I think he just did Paris as well, didn't he?
I want to be Will when I grow up.
I want to be Will when I grow up too. Okay, so any Demuxed news? What's happening with Demuxed Europe, Phil? Is that like coming around?
Sure.
Not to put you on the spot.
Not to put me on the spot. Not to put me on the spot.
You think it's 2023 or do you think it's 2024?
Do I think it's 2023 or 2024? I would love to do one in 2023. If we're going to do one in 2023, I should probably start looking at venues pretty sharpish when I get back to London. But
Castle.
Yeah. We have some venues. We know some
like
venues.
A sweet club in Berlin or something.
No, we have some venues in London.
There's a big like wall around the UK now, right?
Yeah, I mean it's Europe in the sense that it's the continent, rather than Europe in the sense that it's like the EU. It's Demuxed Europe, not Demuxed EU.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Other notes: the YouTube videos are all online.
Yep, except
for Demuxed.
Demuxed YouTube videos are all online.
Oh, including lightning talks?
Including lightning talks.
But not the special guest.
Oh, why not?
I think I just got the recording yesterday. He only went by Tim, who is our amazing editor that cuts these things up every year, just went by the schedule. And so like when he was done with the schedule, he just stopped editing.
No, it wasn't. It was like, not in the schedule.
And then I asked him and he was like, oh, sick. And so he found it and edited it for us and color corrected a bunch of stuff.
Color correction. We're sorry.
We're sorry about that.
Color correction.
There might have been some lux turned on some monitor laptops, but anyway.
That was amazing though. The special guest.
Oh, it was really good.
Oh my gosh.
So we're excited, but that should be online by the time this podcast comes out, hopefully. But if it's not, go check it out.
We're checking out venues for 2023 right now. Spent an hour chatting about them this week, didn't we?
Yep.
So what does that mean, chatting about? Do you have ideas?
We have ideas. Yep. There's a comedy club that's actually a dark horse right now.
What's the deal with airline food? What's the deal with iframes?
Wait. Big enough to fit?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a massive comedy club.
Yeah. Honestly, it looks pretty cool. So, I mean, there's a chance that we go back to the Spoke, which I think has been an amazing venue for us for a couple of years. But it is the ceiling. We could fit more people in there, but it would be at the cost of some of the soft seating, which I thought was really valuable there. And also, like, we can't start before 10 a.m. if we're there again because, like, the one door being open and the security, it just got weird. So some lessons learned there. But then there's also the trade-off of like having a venue that's so turnkey versus like having a venue where we have to go stall AV and anyway. So we're working on it, but we're also trying to avoid some other things. What we do know now is like we're leaning towards it's either going to be really early in October or late in October. but mid-October is kind of a minefield of like
there's an
big
MPEG
internet
event
adjacent-
and an IEEE event. So
yeah.
trying to play nice in the community, aren't we?
Yes.
Wait, what about the one that was after Bespoke? The when the dog patch.
Midway.
Midway's still in the running.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Midway and Bespoke are like the two top ones that we're thinking about.
The Midway needs like a lot of AV. It's a lot of
Got
work
it.
from that perspective.
Yeah, got it. I remember you guys running all over the place there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was a great venue. It's a great venue.
Okay, let's move into the newsletter adjacent topics that we're talking about this month. So I actually don't know if this is in the newsletter, but I have it written down in my notes as something I want to talk about. But Mediachrome marching towards 1.0.
We're gonna start there.
Yeah, we're going to start there. We're just going to launch right into it. God. Hey, Steve.
Hi.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, Mediachrome, this thing that I've been selling to the audience here for what feels like a decade. Might literally be a decade because 2013, 2014 is the first talk on web components. Anyway, right?
I think so.
Yeah, 2014. There's like an Alex Converse talk, and then I followed that with some like web components, something like that.
I think
Yeah,
like a wavelet codecs talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was wasn't that the dude where's my wavelet codec?
Yeah.
Maybe it's
great
that
talk
episode.
title for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Mediachrome, which some people may have seen, is web components, browser web components for video players, like building the UI components. You can kind of build your player from scratch without needing to actually build a play button from complete scratch and things like that. So Mediachrome's been around for a couple of years now. We've been building it towards, I guess, more production ready. And it's already been used in the Mux player, which is used across a ton of sites. And so we feel pretty confident about it. And so Mediachrome itself, we're moving to 1.0. It's been in...
It's also Caffeine. Caffeine uses it in their production
Caffeine's
player.
using it. We've been talking to Microsoft about using it.
Runway ML uses it.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Previous guests on this podcast, by the way.
I think the last guest on this podcast.
Really?
Actually. Yeah.
Oh,
so.
man. Yeah. So, no, I mean, people are using it and been kicking the tires. We feel pretty confident in it. And, Semver versioning is an interesting thing. We've been using like the 0 dot version for Mediachrome because it allows us to like, I don't know, break things a little bit easier as we've been exploring and learning and things like that. But now I think we feel pretty confident to move it to a 1.0. And what we've been hearing from people is like, certainly for production use cases, like you want to feel like, okay, this is at least 1.0 before we're like putting in front of production, viewers and stuff. And so there's kind of no reason it shouldn't be 1.0 today since we're already using it in the Mux player and it's on these production sites. But there's still a few things that we want to do to kind of clean it up and make sure that like we're not going to do any like API or CSS breaking things in it after we actually lock it down to 1.0. So anyway, it's exciting to get there and should be in the next couple of months.
Nice. In the meantime, there was actually the Mave team.
Oh yeah,
rebuilt a Winamp theme in the Mediachrome player, which I thought
I feel so happy about that.
Is there a website where you can like try that with secret URL?
Oh yeah, on stream.new. Wait, what is the URL though?
Isn't it stream.new/v/video ID/Winamp? Isn't it just /Winamp on the end
I
of
think
any
it is
URL?
just /Winamp. Okay, so if you upload a video to stream.new and then just append /Winamp,
I'm pretty sure
you'll
it
get
is.
like the old Winamp theme.
They built the Demuxed player too, right?
For 2023.
Yeah. Awesome.
Did a great job of that as well. Really great job.
So shout out mave.io. Okay, cool. So the next one on my list was this Vectis IP announcing a call. This was back in September, so it's been a minute since we've launched these newsletters.
What is Opus? Matt just typed in his laptop.
No, patent clouds for the Opus codec. It was on like
There you go.
lwn.net. So yeah, it was designed from the beginning to avoid existing patents in the field and be royalty free, blah, blah, blah. And then Vectis, a premier
Such an evil name. Oh my God.
a premier full suite IP licensing and consultancy boutique is collecting patents that are claimed to be read on Opus.
That's a weird way to say patent troll.
Yeah, it's a big mouthful for just really ultimately meaning patent troll. So just throwing this out, I mean, like I think there has been, this has actually been stated by like the people that are a little bit more, that have been historically skeptical about initiatives like AV1 have been, how sure are you that it won't get hit with some sort of patent? And like, I mean, Opus is, as far as like, you know, internet codecs are concerned, ancient.
Wait, no, it's not. Yeah, so Opus is a new one. And God, it's so frustrating too, because like
The new one, 2012, 10 years,
the
10
new
years
one,
old.
the new open source codec, a decade old. But it is frustrating because like the amount of work that these teams go through to actually like understand the patented things and like invent new things to get around them, like it's incredible, like the work and intelligence that goes into avoiding these patents, to then have like this group who's just going to like waste a ton of time in the, like it could turn into something that's like, I don't know, it goes to courts and like I don't know how these things get resolved. I have no idea how these things get resolved, but like it's really frustrating.
No, and the worst part is that it ultimately ends up getting challenged by some guy that's like, well, I actually have a patent for showing pictures really fast to your cat. Like somehow they got the patent for it, like of like shuffling papers really quick, and it's like it's basically same.
IBM patented meetings under 15 minutes very famously, wasn't it? Was it 15 minutes? I don't remember how long it was. That's a long time ago.
Okay, cool. So now that we know nothing about the history of codecs.
Well, let's talk about the other patent news. There's more patent news.
What was the other patent news?
Your patent news, well, I mean...
Oh, yeah. Okay. Kick it
Yeah,
off.
I want to kick it off?
Yeah.
So Twitch and Amazon are being sued by...
Emblaze,
which is
right up there with Vectis for like
evil licensing company for what's described as HTTP live streaming.
Is it EM Blaze or just M Blaze?
M Blaze.
EM Blaze.
Oh, it is M Blaze.
Yeah.
So so this is a patent for HTTP live streaming in the most generic sense.
Not to be confused with HTTP live streaming the artist known as HLS.
Correct.
Okay.
But they did try to also sue Apple over HLS and failed, and tried to sue Microsoft over smooth streaming and failed.
So it's just a bad patent troll. Though.
I'm not doing a great job of it so far, but I'm sure you'll get there. I'm sure you'll get that BSD crown.
It's like a patent golem.
So they're just waiting for somebody to not have the patience and just pay them. That's basically it.
Yeah, it kind of feels like, oh, hey, look, here's a history of this company's name. Emblaze Video, which were product names under Geo Interactive Media, which then changed to Emblaze Systems, then Emblaze, and then BSD Crown Limited.
Wait, so since we initially
Since
put
we
this
started
link in
talking
here,
about this sentence.
since we started this, they changed their name?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sounds like it, but no, I think that was just us reading the wrong bit of the article.
Oh.
We're nailing it today, guys.
Should we go from there to like maybe some Netflix stuff?
Yeah, let's talk about Netflix. What's going on down the road at Netflix in the South Bay?
Well, okay, you give the news that was news to me that I had totally missed.
I can't believe that everyone in this room other than me didn't know that Reed Hastings is stepping down as CEO of Netflix.
Yeah, I also don't know. Okay, so I blame Twitter, which is a topic we'll talk about in a second.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that one.
I blame Twitter because I can't use Twitter right now because all of my clients stopped working last week, and I refuse to use the hellscape that is the native applications. I tried to open
Yeah.
How have you people been doing this?
I don't use Twitter.
Like Twitter with Tweetbot is glorious. Twitter without Tweetbot, Twitter with the native apps it's awful. Truly. Anyway, so I feel like I'm out of the loop on a lot of things because of this. So Reed Hastings is out.
Well, not
He
out.
was still CEO.
He was still CEO. I think he's stepping down as CEO, but staying on the board. Staying
You mean
in
like
the
chairman
exec.
or something
Yeah, I
like
think
that?
staying as chairman is what I read. But yeah, this is one of several interesting things from their Q4 results. So he's stepping down.
Well, before we move on from Reed Hastings, I just want to say real quick. I need to get this off my chest. I feel like Reed Hastings
It's a great name.
is a great CEO name. Just like Colt McCoy is a great Texas quarterback name.
Reed Hastings.
Reed Hastings is a great tech CEO name.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
I feel like this is a completely other angle, but it would have been really interesting if they just fired Reed, like based on their like whole Netflix firing culture and everything. They're just like, oh nope, sorry, Netflix is too big for you now. Like,
According to the handbook, the job outgrew you.
yeah.
Reed.
That would have been appropriate. I feel like even if it
Make haste and get out of here. Make Hastings.
read this.
So the other news was in their Q4 results? The other news?
I think all of this was announced in their Q4 results, which was announced last week, right?
Okay.
So that was one of them that he was stepping down. Password sharing limitations are going to start in Q1. So if you still share a Netflix account with people outside your household,
You have 3 months to save $14.
yes.
I think it's like $19 now or something.
It does keep going up.
It's like 4K. It's like 4K more expensive than it was like 6 months ago.
I feel like I get an email from them every month now. It's like, oh, we're just going to increase it a little bit. We're just going to increase it a little bit. Don't worry about it. And then it's $1 more every single month.
Yeah.
I think they said they're going to add to that, obviously, unsurprisingly, I think there is going to be an option to pay to share it with people outside your house that like won't be as expensive as just like a whole nother subscription, because how they announced it.
The big family plan.
I feel like in reality, it's like the ex that you are on good enough terms that you don't want to like totally burn the bridge with plan.
That's actually what it's named in the handbook.
Like I have a lot of friends who, when they broke up, there was like, can I keep using the Netflix though? And that was like the olive branch that they like
And you're
continued
okay,
with.
You're okay to keep seeing that person's name every time you open the damn app to avoid the $14.
That's not worth $13 to me. Well,
I think it's worth $14. It's clearly worth $14 to some people that I know.
Man.
And then slowly you start passive aggressively changing the names on the other profiles.
Super beautiful new girlfriend.
She goes to another school. You don't know her.
what's a little unclear to me right now is like how, I know I travel a lot, right? When I'm traveling, I use Netflix when I travel and like on my iPad, and I'm a little unclear, and maybe I just didn't go and read much about this, but like, hey, like, what if my girlfriend's at home and watching my Netflix and I'm like in the US watching my Netflix? Like, how aggressively are they going to stamp down on that? Are they going to categorize like living room devices separately to like mobile devices, or like?
Didn't they try this already in like in smaller regions? Like I thought they started. Like there's some news. I feel like we might have even put this in the newsletter last year about them testing this in like Brazil or something like that, like testing some caps. And I think they ran into very similar issues with tracking.
What is the limit, though? Is it like the number of profiles you can have in the account? Because it's one thing to like share a password. No, wait. Is the password the same for every single person? So it doesn't really matter if you have a different profile or not. It's just the password.
Yeah.
You remember when, was it Jimmy Fallon shared like his password on
Twitter,
the Oscars? No, it was like the Oscars or something like that. Like he was like, oh, here's my Netflix password. And then like 1 million people signed into his account. Okay, so the limit is for any one password, how many people you can have like watching at one time or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's where it gets interesting, because like I already pay for multiple devices concurrently, but it's supposed to be multiple devices within the same household.
Oh.
like this happens. This is actually a thing. Like if YouTube TV ever cracked down on this, it would be really interesting, because like when I travel, I use YouTube TV all the time. YouTube TV is also the only household subscription we have to television. So like if my partner's at home watching TV and I'm on the road, and then sometimes even like we'll have YouTube TV signed into different devices in the house on different streams all at the same time.
Yeah, best hope that doesn't get cracked down on.
I mean, that would be it for me if they cracked down on that, honestly.
Well, you know what's the worst part about this? I feel like all the other streaming services are probably just waiting for Netflix to make that move too. So as soon as they do that, then all the other services can be like, okay, great. We have permission to do it ourselves.
Yep.
Almost like layoffs, huh?
Oh, God.
I mean, is that a spicy opinion? Definitely some layoffs happening that are happening because it's opportunistically and culturally appropriate right now.
I mean, it's like for public companies, it's one of those situations where you can't not.
Yeah.
It's one of those tough things where, anyway.
Speaking of layoffs, Twitter.
Oh,
is that a bad transition?
No, given that I think they're at are they 75% smaller than they were pre-Musk, before getting musketed?
Can you just walk in the front door now? I mean, I walk by their building every day. I feel like I could just walk in the front door and maybe don't have security at the front desk anymore. It's just
they'll actually slap a badge on you and be like, could you do some video engineering for us? We really need to...
is there anyone left on their team that knows about video? There's some people Demuxed speakers.
Yep.
I would argue leaders in the video industry that got laid off in all of this. I'm sure they've been snapped up at this point, but some real gets there for a second. And especially given that they're talking about video being a...
Yeah. I mean, video, that's one of the blue features, right? Is a more premium, longer videos, isn't it?
What's a blue feature?
So the check marks. Oh man, you missed all of this for a second.
Okay. I have twin 2-year-olds, dude.
Okay, all right, fair.
Pretend we pause the recording for 5 minutes while we explain to Ev what's been happening at Twitter for a while.
Elon was like, power to the people. Everyone can have a check mark for $8.
Oh, I do. I heard that.
Yeah. And so then people would make an account being Pfizer 1,000 with a check mark and then be free insulin for everyone, or the other, aside from getting to impersonate public companies, one of the other blue features is longer videos.
Mm-hmm. I think 4K video is going to be under there as well.
Well, so yeah, the other thing we found was somebody discovered 4K big, what was...
So yeah, somebody worked out you could effectively create a tweet thread of images and then stitch them together as a Dash manifest and serve all of the frames for big book money in 4K 60 from a single tweet thread with an externally hosted manifest and all the media chunks coming off of Twitter, just
just using Twitter as a hosting service?
Effectively, yes. And you
this
spoof.
is so much worse than I thought it was.
It's pretty crazy because you package the video and then spoof the file as having a PNG header, so Twitter thinks it's an image, but actually it's a segment of Big Book Bunny as the actual media. And then you create you guys create a bot. I can't remember who it is. David Buchanan, something like that. Yeah, David Buchanan, I think it is. And create a bot that just creates a ideally private tweet thread that just has all those images in that are actually video, and then just stitches a manifest on top of it.
I mean, the amazing thing about that is even once they know about it, it's going to take them a year to fix it, right?
But no one's left working on it. No.
The sync that Elon carried in that one day is going to go fix this. I guess on that note, DVDs are back.
DVDs are back. Don't throw away your DVDs, folks. Keep your DVDs.
Okay, so what is this one? This is you posted this link. The DVDs.
I did.
That your wife was right about DVDs or something was
I don't have a wife.
Oh, I know, but that was the headline of the blog post or
my
something.
wife was right about DVDs. It's this common thing that we've seen over the last few years where streaming services, once something's on there, it's not necessarily on there forever. And even beyond that, my favorite one recently was I can't remember which show it was, but a guy created a show for Amazon Prime. And then Prime took his show down. And he had no way to stream his own show, his own content that he'd created. Which is pretty crazy.
Because they owned the rights to it?
Yep.
Is that?
And in fact, it gets even worse when I think this is part of a merger deal as well, where Amazon wanted to write off a bunch of money. One of the ways to do that is write off a bunch of content. It's like, oh, okay. It's gone. You can never get this content again. So,
wait, okay. So it's one thing if I'm like paying for the service.
yeah, and you cancel the service.
Okay, but like what if, I bought like a copy of Elf for $15 or something like they can't take that.
They absolutely can.
They can and do.
And do, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Same with Kindle.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. You buy like a temporary license to the content, not actually the content.
Okay, hear me out here, guys. Right?
He's
it's
gripping the
really close to
microphone.
Could we solve this using a blockchain?
Blockchain plus hosting it on Twitter?
Yeah, yeah. Twitter will never go down.
The funny thing is like I was just telling somebody the other day that one of the like tech failures that I'm the most happy about is MySpace, because it deleted a bunch of really embarrassing shit from the internet that makes it a lot harder to find, because they like, oh no, we lost a bunch of images and audio.
Shame.
So like now people can't find my Screamo band from
Man.
2005.
Like they won't even say like, hey, we're going to take this down, download a copy of it because you paid for it.
No.
Because they're not cheap. It's not like,
Yep.
it's the same price basically as buying the DVD.
Yep.
Wow. The world should know that.
But we're putting it out there. This will go viral because of that, actually.
For the
You're on notice,
two listeners.
world.
We didn't talk about Hello Video Codec.
What's that?
Give us a rapid fire about what Hello
A
Video
rapid fire
Codec is.
Hello Video Codec is like a really simple video codec implemented in like a really readable code.
Nice.
What does really readable code mean?
I ask myself that every day.
Really readable code is when you're writing it in that moment and not when you're looking at it a week later. Well, I think so. Like Justin Greer, way pre, like he's at Mux now, but way pre Mux, he wrote a video codec in Ruby.
Which
I think
Ruby
it
is very readable code.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think it was like a reference implementation of just like, here's how like a simple codec works. I'm pretty sure it did like one frame every 6 seconds or something
It was
like
not
that.
fast. That's for sure. I think it only did iframes.
But it was really interesting.
It was.
So readable code here means
Look, here you go. Turn my laptop, show you. Look.
yeah. Okay.
Look, is that readable?
The answer is no, it is not
Okay,
super
never mind.
readable.
Never mind. I was wrong. It's like a toy codec, like a toy video codec.
Yeah.
It's an intro codec.
It's like
Learn
it's like a
codec.
Duplo block of codec.
yes.
But is that useful? I'm going to play devil's advocate here because it's like, great. Here's how a video codec works. Is that supposed to like encourage you to go build your own? Because there's no way in freaking hell you're going to go start from there and then go build an actual usable video codec, right? Like,
It's inspiring some poor sap to like go build their own codec.
one of my friends actually did go build their own codec.
I know many people that have gone and built their own codec, and I don't think any of it's gone well.
This one actually went really well. I was surprised how far they got with this one. Like, they had like an absolute requirement of no like external dependencies. Like FFmpeg could not go on the device. So like any form of like, and it was a Linux device. So like, they pretty much like had to write their own screen recorder for a device.
It's like the NSA or something like that.
No. Hint, you own like one of the devices from the same company.
Apple.
No. I think they use fairly standardized codecs.
I was about to say. What other device do I own? It's not my car, is it?
No. Okay, we'll move on.
are we in
We'll
like
move on.
James Bond Q territory here? I don't understand where this is going.
I don't either. Okay.
MI6.
Oh, we didn't talk about the 4K, 8K thing either.
The what?
What's the 4K, 8K thing?
The Frankfurt and Christian.
The what?
So IEEE published a study that basically says for the vast majority of use cases, for the vast majority of screen sizes, 8K isn't needed.
I feel like we already discovered that with 4K too,
I don't think that needed a study to tell us that.
Didn't we have a conversation with Matt from Vimeo about this? And like, when you actually get the screen up, like if you're doing VR and it's up against your face, right?
Well, yeah,
And
that's pretty different though to like a TV in your home, right?
okay. What's the scope of this?
It's all that's like distance from the TV and like how it matters. Like I haven't seen anything that shows that 4K
Didn't John Dahl give a talk on the like science behind this at Demuxed?
We all like hit ourselves in the face with our phone.
There's a whole lot of pictures of people around the office putting measuring tape between their forehead, their eyeballs, and their monitor.
Yeah, there was a good talk that came out of that. Didn't we already solve that? Why do we need this little?
Okay. Sorry, IEEE. Sorry.
Yeah, IEEE. Have you not been to Demuxed? Sheesh. Strobe said quality doesn't matter, and then John said actually it does that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least we're all on the same page.
Strongly synergy.
Unsurprisingly, we'll wrap this. We'll go full circle here. And again, the Demuxed talks are online, and I have to suggest the Strobe talk. It is
Glorious.
As usual.
How many copies of every talk in the playlist, Matt?
At this point, one, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's because I sat them down and took out all the duplicates. Matt's about to throw shade on YouTube. Here we go.
No shade to YouTube. But like when I selected all the time, I was like, I just want to make sure that all of the ones that I just uploaded are in that playlist. Mm-hmm. So I selected all the ones. And then there's like a global add to playlist type drop down. And it had like the little line through that checkbox, which usually means like some of these are, some of these aren't. So I checked that thinking, okay, this is going to make all of these on the playlist. Little did I know that it was just going to add all of them to the playlist, whether or not they were already on the playlist, which is why some things were so nice, we added them twice.
Mm-hmm. But do you have the DVD in 8K?
That's a good point. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Ooh. We should release a Demuxed DVD every year. Okay.
DVD. We really going to go and re-encode the whole thing like 576i?
So by the time this podcast is out,
there will be swag for next year.
There will be a Demuxed DVD.
And on that bombshell,
yeah, I think we're good here. All right. Well, thanks everybody for this perfectly good episode. We'll see what we come out here, but
okay.
If you're interested in being a guest on the podcast for one of the normal episodes, please reach out, and then we'll subject everyone to no fewer of these because we're going to do these once a month. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.
If you don't come on as a guest, you will be subjected to.
Yeah. You get subjected to these either way. So. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
That's all we have for today. But as always, we'd love to hear what you thought, even if you disagree. So please reach out on Twitter at Demuxed.
To learn more about Heavybit, visit heavybit.com. And while you're there, be sure to check out their library. It's packed with amazing talks on sales, marketing, product, and general management from founders of developer tools companies and other industry leaders.